Hi, Crickellectuals. Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about Pakistan's men's cricket team's test performance. Recently, you might have noted that they've climbed up in the points table for the Test Championship. So in the ICC World Test Championship points table, Pakistan is now ranked number 3. That's a consequence of some of the performances Pakistan had in the last year, especially near the end of the year, but also how India and South Africa have contributed to their ranking. So India was in South Africa and they lost a test series. And because of that, the points table has changed a little bit. Now on number 1, we have Sri Lanka. At number 2 is Australia. And at number 3 is Pakistan, with 4 test matches, 3 wins and 1 loss. And they're followed by South Africa and then India in the 5th position. So we thought we'd give you an overview of Pakistan's test performance in the year 2021. So in the year 2021, Pakistan played a total of 11 test matches. They won 8 of them against Zimbabwe, Bangladesh, and South Africa and West Indies. And they lost 2 against New Zealand and tied 1 of the West Indies test matches. So while staying at home, Pakistan won 2 against South Africa, and only 2 of these 11 test matches were played at home in Pakistan. And those were the matches against South Africa when they visited. And Pakistan won that contest 2-0. While away, Pakistan first played at the beginning of 2021 against New Zealand in New Zealand, and they lost both test matches. Then they traveled to Zimbabwe, where they played another 2 test matches and won both of them. And then Pakistan visited the West Indies, where they won one of the test matches and West Indies won the other. The series was tied. And lastly, Pakistan played against Bangladesh very recently in November, December, when they visited Bangladesh, and it was a clean sweep with a 3-0 win for Pakistan. So that's how Pakistan got in the top 5 of the points table for the Test Championship. Now the question is Pakistan going to be able to hold this position or improve it to get to number 1? So 2022 is an interesting year because Pakistan has a lot more home games in 2022. So the men's Pakistani team will be playing Australia in March and April, and there will be 3 test matches between Australia and Pakistan in Pakistan. After that, we have 2 test matches against Sri Lanka, but those are away in Sri Lanka. So that adds a little bit of a spice to this whole conversation. And finally, we have 3 more test matches against England, which are also at home in Pakistan. So Team Pakistan is in a really interesting position because we get to play Australia. And to be honest with you, I'm unsure if Australia is going to send us a full strength team based on the few things that have been said by a couple of their players, including their test captain. It's looking like maybe a few of the key players that they usually travel with might end up staying home, which would be a bummer, but it does improve Pakistan's chances of winning. I think Pakistan would be a formidable side to beat in Pakistan anyway. I don't think it was going to be that easy for Australia. For them, the conditions are going to be completely new because they haven't been to Pakistan in 20 years or so. So this is something different for them, and they'll have all the pressure on them. Pakistan, on the other hand, will be excited. They're on a very good run right now, even though they've had a bit of a break of a couple of months of no cricket, but Pakistani players will be coming off of PSL, most of them, and they'll be really excited about getting it on with Australia at home. So Pakistan's confidence is going to be high. Australia's confidence, on the other hand, is not going to be so high because, of course, there'll be travelers. There's been so much conversation about security and stuff coming into the series. There are likely to be some changes in their team, so the dynamics might be a little bit different. So they're going to be the ones who are going to be the underdogs when they come to Pakistan. So I am hoping that Pakistan will be winning that series 3-0. I do want to add, though, that Australia obviously play a certain brand of cricket, a certain type of cricket. They're very aggressive. They don't give up, and they come to win. And also they're coming from a very successful Ashes campaign. That was a brutal campaign for England, but for Australia, that must be a really big confidence booster. So they're coming to Pakistan having won a really tough series. But playing in Pakistan is a different ball game with quality spinners, quality fast bowling, quality batting. It's going to be a fuller package than what England brought to Australia. England was getting a lot of criticism for the actual team that they brought there. Pakistan, on the other hand, is going to have everyone at their disposal, and everyone will be roaring to go. And Pakistan will still be the favorites for us. Of course, we're Crickellectuals, we're a Pakistan cricket podcast. We love Pakistan, so obviously for us, Pakistan will always be the favorites. And I think Pakistan should be able to win at least 2 of the 3 matches against Australia. Moving on to the next series that's coming up, that I imagine to be a tougher series because we're going to be visiting Sri Lanka and playing 2 tests there. anytime we go to another country, play in their conditions, obviously it is challenging. Sri Lanka's performance has not been as good recently, though, but usually Pakistan Sri Lanka games are pretty well matched and balanced. Sri Lanka as always has quality bowling as well on their side, and it always turns into a battle of who plays the spinners the best. So we're really looking forward to that one. It's hard to say who's going to win, but still, I feel Pakistan is a stronger team as a unit, and they will win that series. And finally, we'll have England visiting us in October, which is 3 test matches and 7 T20s. That's a lot of cricket with England, and it's long overdue. So it'd be really nice, but England would be coming to Pakistan. These are home games for Pakistan once again, and I expect Pakistan to put up a really good fight and beat England. Now, this Pakistan-England series is so far from today that we don't know what the outfits are going to look like. Each team might look very different by October of 2022. So we'll see what happens. But given the England that we saw in Australia, I can't see those English batsmen standing a chance against Pakistan's bowling in home conditions. So I think the Australia series has the potential of being the toughest for Pakistan, but it depends which Australia shows up. If a second strength team shows up, good for us. We'll take them on, and winning gets a little bit easier for us. But if a full strength Australia comes, then the situation will be difficult. It's going to be more challenging for Pakistan, of course, but still the vote will go to Pakistan for us because Pakistan is playing in home conditions, and we got to get them back for that T20 semifinal loss. So let us know what your predictions are for each of these test series. Pakistan against Australia, Pakistan against Sri Lanka, and then Pakistan against England. Share in the comments below. And if you like Pakistan cricket news, make sure you follow us. And until next time, this is your host, Chase, signing out. Peace.